All right, I'm gonna attempt to record this while I'm driving. To any of my old subscribers that used to hear my videos while I'm driving, this is my other car, so I don't have to scream as much because it's not as loud. But if I make any mistakes, that's because I'm driving and I'm trying to keep from dying. I gotta pay attention as I drive. So TikTok, the tickety tock, wickety whack. So TikTok was banned, and then it came back. All feels like some sort of stunt that they're pulling on people. The fact that it came back so quickly, it feels like a stunt. Kind of. Again, the wealthy use these little tricks to try to pacify people and placate people, to kind of make people, to give them a false sense of not superiority, but to make them feel like they do have a little bit of power. Because when you're subjugating millions and you're only in the thousands, you have to play these little games because these people outnumber you. So you have to play these little tricks to try to convince people that they aren't powerless sheep or powerless lemmings. So you had this little thing that I think was being done to kind of like play a game to make people think that, things can work in your favor. So don't revolt. Don't get too crazy now. And that's how it feels. But TikTok, I believe, had already been co-opted a while ago, because when I started using the tickety talks, I would post something and it would kind of get reactions almost immediately. I would kind of get a decent amount of views, at least a lot more than I would get on YouTube. People would comment, share, and whatever you call it on there, repost or whatever, like, and all that stuff. They would do all of that. And then, like a few days later or like a couple weeks later or something like that, it kind of, everything went silent. I would get no views, no interactions at all from other people, like my videos weren't being hidden. So I was like, oh, well, that means they co-opted this. They have shadow banned me on every platform, from YouTube to Twitter/X to where else do I try to? I only try to post on a few of these platforms, to TikTok. I think those are the only three that I really use or try to put stuff on. I haven't tried to put anything on Twitter in probably like 2 or 3 years. But they have shadow banned me on all of those. So I don't get any interaction. I'm not saying I should be getting hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of views or anything like that. I don't expect that. I don't think, my content, if that's what you want to call it, because it's not really content, it's supposed to be a message to people. I don't think that my stuff is that interesting, I guess. So people kind of come and go, they hear it. I don't have like moving pictures and video and stuff. This is not for entertainment. I'm just trying to reach out to like-minded people and get like-minded people to hear what I'm saying and to hopefully spread what I'm saying. That's really all I'm doing. So I don't have like videos and moving pictures and things like that. So I think a lot of people see it and they kind of get bored easily and then they switch out. So I wouldn't get thousands of views, but a couple hundred views out of the hundreds of thousands of people that interact on these things. I figured I should get at least that. But I don't even get that. I'll get like 10 views. 10 views. And again, it's not, the number of views are low. But what am I trying to say? The number of views are low. And the reason that's a concern to me is because it's not as if, let's say, 200 people came across my video, watched it for a few minutes or even a few seconds, and then moved on. Though that's not the case, because it shows you the views in total. It doesn't say how long the people have watched. So if you're only getting 10, 20 views, that means that your video was only seen by 10, 20 people, which means you're being shadow banned. Somebody's keeping your video from just popping up into people's feeds. This isn't like YouTube on a lot of these apps where you have to click on a video manually to give them a view. No, as you scroll, it opens up. And that would count as a view. But that's not being done. Hold on. See, I'm driving. I gotta pay attention. People driving slow. So I said all of that to kind of say that, TikTok, I believe, has been co-opted a while ago. But now with this whole little stunt that's been being played, I really feel like it's already co-opted. People have been saying that there's links on Facebook to this app. The president, people think that Donald Trump is some rogue, independent person. Donald Trump is just like every other politician. He became a politician to make money. That's it. Just like every other politician, he became a politician to make more money for himself. So he will work with these other groups if he has to, in order to keep this stuff going. They're co-workers. The wealthy and these politicians are co-workers. So Donald Trump talking about come back to TikTok, that means that the people, the wealthy, have already figured out a way to keep the really important messages silent, to silence those people. So you won't hear a lot of stuff from those people, and that's why they're allowing the app. It's not that the masses want a victory of any kind. No, the wealthy are once again playing a game on the gullible and the stupid, and they will allow. Which, I mean, that in itself should rally the masses to say, well, who are you to allow me to do anything? I pay you. You're supposed to work for me. But the masses don't catch on. But the wealthy will allow this because they have some sort of control over it. They can shadow ban or block or censor the people that they don't want talking. So TikTok will still exist. You'll have the people that were using it to make money. They'll be able to make money still. But the more important stuff, the reason that most people said they wanted to have access to TikTok, that stuff will still be censored. It's still going to be censored. You're still not going to have the same quality as you did when we first got access to TikTok. So TikTok to me is compromised, and it's a waste to waste your time using it. There's an app called Rednote. I don't know anything about that app yet, but maybe try getting information from there. I don't know at this point. You don't need to waste the information is still good, but these little apps aren't the answer. The answer, it will still be, and this is the message I've been pushing for more than half of a decade, the message will still be, you have to alter the money flow for the wealthy people. That's what you have to do. You want to gain your power and your rights back, you have to alter their money flow. Take away their money. Once you take away their money, then you will have an equal seat at the table, because then you have something to leverage. Right now, you don't have anything to leverage. You can tell them, well, I want autonomy and free rights. I mean, not free rights. I want rights and freedoms. I want to be able to control my own destiny. I don't want people taking my money that I pay in the form of taxes and use it for themselves. I want to use it for my country and my people and my family. Like take my money and use it to help the homeless, or take my money and use it to feed people, or take my money and use it to better people in other parts of the world, or take my money and use it to better my own country, my own home, by doing things like building. I mean, we could build a high-speed rail station here with all the money that we have, instead of using it to just funnel over to other countries and to other wealthy people. We can use that money to do things like provide jobs by building high-speed rail stations, a rail system throughout the country, so you don't have to rely on airplanes. But they don't do that because the wealthy airline owners don't want people having a good, efficient alternative to air travel, because that will hurt them. So they bribe the. I've gone into this and other stuff, but you want to get the to make it so that you have equal rights even with the wealthy people. You want your money to be used for you. You want to have equal say, fair say. You want to have all that stuff. You can't demand or ask for that. They're not going to give it to you, because if they give that to you, well, then the wealthy lose a position of power. They lose a portion of their power. That's been the whole issue this whole time. These people will lose their power if they give you any more power than you already have. So they're not going to give it to you. You have to take it. And you can only take it by leveraging something. You have to leverage something. You don't have the money to play in politics like the wealthy do, so you can't own and bribe politicians so that they work to help you. You don't have the money to do that. But what you can do is you can alter the money that the wealthy receive. Once they see that bit of power that you have, where these people are coming together and working to make sure that our money flow is low, once they see that will make them pay more attention to you. Then they'll start listening. That'll give you a seat at the table. That will be your leverage. You leverage the money that you spend collectively. So the Mark Zuckerface, he owns, what does he own? Facebook, and he can go in and just use his money to switch things over into his favor, so he can make his company more of a monopoly, because he has the money to bribe the politicians. So he has the money, which means he has the power to do that. You don't have nearly the amount of money that is needed to do those types of things. But collectively, if enough of us come together and stop shopping, then collectively our money, it adds up. That's our way of saying, well, we don't have enough money to bribe, but we do have enough money to hurt the people that are hindering us. We can hurt you. So if you don't want us hurting you, well, then you got to give us, and this is what we want. And that's how you get your message. That's how you get that's how you get your seat at the table. That's how you get that's how you get your demands heard. So this whole TikTok thing, I just want to make a quick video on it because they banned it and then took away the ban. The fact that they can ban it in the first place, they can tell you, well, we don't like the fact that you guys are listening to this, so we're going to take it away from you. That in itself, who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and can't listen to? You work for me. You're supposed to work for me. So, people, forget about just utilizing these apps. Don't worry about using TikTok anymore. It's been compromised. If you want any real power, if you want a seat at the table, obviously my message is going to be the same. Stop shopping. Convince everyone that you know and love to stop going into these chain stores and pumping your money in and just blindly handing your money and your power over to the wealthy people that own these companies, that own portions of these companies, that make money from these companies. That's what you got to do.